Hey guys, Mike Young with Noble Warriors. And listen, it's Friday afternoon. You won't be surprised that I found some manhood in the media this week. So, a couple of articles that caught my attention, actually, both of them written by moms, which I sincerely appreciate. The first one from the Free Press: Give Your Kid Real Work. This was posted on August the 9th by Liz Wolfe. Subtitle: Parents have embraced Montessori aesthetics, wooden toys, sad beige playrooms, I'm not even sure what that is, while ignoring its actual lesson. Children need meaningful work and responsibility. And so I loved what she was talking about here. She actually talked about the idea that her young son, he's 3.5 years old, she needed some help with dinner prep, so she gave him some cucumbers and a special type of knife. I'm not familiar with this type of knife. Had the little 3.5-year-old guy cutting up some cucumbers. And I got to tell you, that would freak a lot of people out. But here's the deal. It's not like she gave him the knife and left. She gave him the knife and taught him what to do and stayed there with him and showed him what to do, taught him responsibility, coached him, watched him, encouraged him. And I tell you, man, we need more of that. As a matter of fact, dads, I would encourage you, take the lead on this and teach your young guys especially, and this applies to girls and guys, but I just think about it so much, especially with our sons. If we're gonna raise up young men who understand what it means to work and take care of themselves and understand a work ethic, then you have to give them work to do. You can't keep doing everything for them. Moms, make them make their bed, get them to help with the laundry, wash the dishes, find chores that your kids can do and get them to do them. And listen, get them to do them while they want to do it. Because I'm telling you that if you wait until your kid's 15 years old, they don't want to do any work because what you've done is taught them to be lazy. So if you invite them to do it while they're interested in it and excited about it, then they will be able to do it as they get older, and it will be second nature to them. I tell folks that with regard to the work here, and this ties into the other article I'm going to take a look at. For a long time at our house, it looked like elementary school kids cut our grass. And there's a reason for that. It's because elementary school kids were cutting our grass. Their names were Tim and Zach and Ben. And it was crooked, and it was not professional at all. But by the time those kids were teenagers, they were making sick money in the neighborhood because they knew how to cut grass. They owned their own, heck, they still own the lawnmower I use, and they've been gone for years. Bought their own weed eater, their blower. Man, these guys were rolling because they learned how to work. Now, did I just put them on a mower and tell them to go and didn't? No, I coached them, I trained them, I equipped them, stood beside them, walked with them. And so there is purpose in this. And so you've got to give your kids real work to do so that they're not afraid of work. Listen, the second article by Ashley Hales, this was in Christianity Today: Blessed are the risk takers. Subtitle for this one is: Parents want to shelter our kids from poor choices, but the right kind of leaps lead to flourishing. So again, same sort of thing. We spend so much time trying to protect our kids that we never let them have the experience of what it feels like to take risks and to work through their fears, to step through the barrier of, I'm afraid to do this, I'm challenged by this, I don't know if I'll succeed. Man, you've got to give them those opportunities, coach them through it, pray them through it, encourage them through it. But this is how we build adults. And specifically, I'm talking to you parents of sons, this is how we build men. Because I'm convinced that we will never take the gospel to the ends of the earth if we don't raise some men who are courageous to go there with the gospel and go to the hard places and do the hard things. Right now, most of the missionaries on the field sent out by many of our mission sending agencies are females. And men are disqualified or choose not to go for many, many reasons. But listen, we can raise young men who can do hard things and will do hard things. And I got to tell you, I believe part of what we're seeing in our culture right now is a resurgence of young men who want to feel the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. And they've never had that experience because we haven't given it to them. We've made everything, we gave everyone a trophy. A kid's never had to stand in the batter's box and face, he could get the last out. A kid's never had to do hard things. He's never had to serve. He's never had to make up his bed. And so when we miss those opportunities, we miss the development that it takes to get to resilient adults, resilient men. So that's what we need. And as a matter of fact, I found, when the first time I ever spoke at my church when I was a kid, Southside Baptist Church in Suffolk, Virginia, the first time I ever spoke there, I was scared out of my mind. I was a teenager. And I remember finding Matthew chapter 10, verse 19, and I have held on to it since then. Jesus was sending out his disciples. He was sending them out. And verse 16 says, "Behold, I'm sending you out as sheep into the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." Isn't that crazy? He knew what he was sending them out to. Verse 19, though, says this, "When they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you in that hour." And so what Jesus was doing was sending out these young disciples who had chosen to follow him. Many of them had left family and business and familiar things to follow him. He was training and equipping them to become the apostles who would carry on and sustain and launch and build the church that you and I are part of today. But he had to do it by putting them in hard places, challenging them and equipping them to do hard things. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to give our kids real work, and we've got to help them understand what it means to be risk takers for the kingdom so that we can develop men who will take the gospel to the ends of the earth and across the street. God bless you, folks.